Hello Alice, and hello fellow social butterflies. I am Christina Waschko and I own my own video production company called Motherpreneur Productions here in beautiful Maple Ridge, BC, Canada. And before that I was the proud owner of a coffee shop in the Netherlands called Strawberry Lounge, and before that I used to be a fitness instructor. So with having said this, I have about 3 decades, 30 years, oh my God, of entrepreneurial experience under my belt.
Wonderful. Could you tell me some of the clients and some of the projects you worked on?
As a videographer, I have the total honor. I work with our city, with our BIA, with the Rich Meadows Recycling Society, Pinnacle Pursuits, an amazing outdoor adventure team building company, and lots of independent business owners who hire me to make them shine online, to help them to introduce their product and services.
Awesome. Tell me about the event stuff you covered.
Obviously it depends who hires me. I've done Canada Day, Car Free Day, foundation launch, workshops, the introduction of a new product or service, but I already said that. But anything but weddings.
Tell us, as a business owner, what have you learned in 6 years of running your videography business? What are some top tips and wisdoms you'd like to share?
So remember, I'm not doing this for 6 years. I mean, I run my videography business for 6 years, but as a business owner, what I said, about 30 years. So, and the biggest thing I noticed, regardless of where I lived and what I've done, is I'm definitely not for everybody, because people are very personal. Some people don't like me when I taught aerobics classes. People chose not to join my classes. They just don't like my style, my music. As a coffee shop owner, some people didn't like that I was prioritizing families and children. It was noisy. I don't know why. Not why people didn't like me. Not me, but my style. And now as videographer, yes, people look at prices. They look at, do I like this person? And so biggest lesson learned, I'm definitely not for everybody. And that's okay.
Could you tell me a challenge or a difficult situation or a client you had to deal with, and what did you do to overcome it?
So a few years ago, when I first started with my videography business, I had 2 people who actually didn't pay me. Mind you, the first person paid me, but it took a little while until he coughed up what he owed me. And the second one, she refused to pay me because she said the product wasn't good enough, and I was really peed off about that. And now obviously I laugh about that because that is so ridiculous, but during, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago or 5 years ago, I don't know, it was really stressful and hurtful. So biggest lesson learned, now I only work with people who, what I said before, who like what I do and who like me and who can afford me. And I also developed this gut feeling, she's not for me, it's all good. No, and also the other thing, I get paid in advance now.
If you met yourself when you were fresh out of university, full of life, living, having the wisdom you have now, what life advice would you give to the younger Christina?
Now, I don't know, Alice, if you know, I was 29 when I started university, so I was 32 by the time I finished. So the biggest thing I would say is going to university, having this piece of paper after 3 or 4 years does not make you rich, but it opens you lots of doors.
Christina, just like the Social Butterfly Club members are from every corner of this world, you have lived and traveled and done business in multiple countries all over Europe and in North America. So tell us, are there differences in doing business in Europe versus North America?
So I would say be more straightforward. I'm German, so what you see is what you get. I don't bullshit, I don't over promise, I rather under promise and over deliver. In general terms, we are really much more straightforward.
Being a mom of three, teenage and grown sons, how do you balance having a family life versus having a business? Any tips on time management and balance?
So first thing off the cuff, I personally don't believe in balance, especially when you have a big fat dream or vision and idea you just made happen. For me, there is no balance because I put all my energy, everything into making this idea come true. For example, when I had my coffee shop, our children were, I think, 7, 5 and 3. So really that tender age where they need their mom, but I mean, they always need their mom. I worked 70, 80, 90 hours, and what I said, there is no balance. I was so excited about making this coffee shop come true. And yeah, screw the consequences. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. My husband, he worked from home, so that was big help. So from the balance front, I don't believe in balance, especially if we have a deadline. Now, when I work or when I create, sometimes I have deadlines, there's no balance. But then there come other times where, especially, as you know, when you're an entrepreneur or when you're self-employed, it goes up and down. And when you have lots of work, you go crazy. You make sure your deadlines are being met. And afterwards, you have all the free time you want. And to time management, our children are so much older now, so now I have a really good rhythm of when I create and how I create. For example, I'm a morning person, so I get all the difficult things out of the way first thing in the morning, where my mind is fresh and I have lots of ideas.
If you were on your deathbed, what would your last words be?
Probably, it has been a good run. It's time, and it was fun. It's time to go, and it was fun.
Okay, and any parting tips for our lovely Social Butterfly Club members that you'd like to share?
Yes, I would say under promise, over deliver each and every single time. Go the extra mile, especially when you're new in something. Do something more established companies won't do because they are too big or the money is too little. And always be interested, always listen more. Listen, there are only 2 things everybody in the world wants. People want to be listened to and want to be loved. And if we as business owners can listen and figure out exactly what people want, we hit the gold mine.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you so much.